Good day everyone, welcome to Literature 2. And now, for the discussion, we're going to discuss about the literalities of a drama. But before that, let me introduce to you the reporters, which is my name is Noemi Patalia, and my co-partner for this discussion is Mary Chris Montejo. And now, we're going to tackle first about the objectives of this lesson. The objective of this lesson is to know the author and his literalities. Second, to understand and interpret the message of the drama or a play. Third, to appreciate the literalities that gives an inspiration message to the readers. Now, let's go to the discussion. First, before we go to tackle the literalities that for this discussion today, I'm going to give to you a brief discussion regarding to drama. Drama is defined as a form of performance that involves conflicts, emotion, and a portrayal of human experience through dialogue and action, as well as it typically represents a story or a situation that engages the audience emotion, invoking the intense feelings such as tension, excitement, or empathy. And when we hear a drama, most of us come up when it comes to movies or K-drama or a teleserie that we've been watched. But it's a literary work that tells a story about true action, speech, and it's meant to be acted on a stage to play a drama. While drama is also an expressive art by understanding the character, how the voice expressively using, how they use the body to express the emotion or the tension, and to create a masterpiece or to create such a masterpiece by drama. So before we discuss one of the literalities that we're going to watch later on, we should focus first on the author of that literary. So his name is Anton Chekhov. Anton Chekhov was a writer and a playwright from Tangier, Russia. He was born on January 29, 1860. Chekhov was become one of the most popular writers in modern history. He often credited when it comes to creation of short story. So basically, Anton Chekhov became known when it comes to writing or creating a short story. And due to that, he became outstanding, or he became popular when it comes to when it came to late 19th century in Russia. And it became a realist. He became one of the popular Russian realists in school. Life background of Anton Chekhov. He was the third among the 6 children. His father's name is Pavel Chekhov, was the son of a farmer serf, while her mother's name is Chekhov Chekhova, was a storyteller who entertained her children when it comes to telling tales, while her parents, which is Pavel and Chekhov, ran a grocery shop. So when we say farmer serf, it's basically as a bodyguard or a person that assigned to a certain person to look out. But in the late century, or which is in 19th century, they call them a slave or a serf. So Anton Chekhov basically had her skills when it comes to her mother, because their mother always tell a short story or a tales or anything that to entertain her children. And by that, Anton Chekhov was amazed how a story or a short story created, or how it was organized, or how they brainstormed just to create a short story. So by that, he dreamed or already influenced how to write a short story. The next slide. In 1879, Chekhov moved to Moscow and started studying about medicine. Having to support his family and pay for his study, he sold just funny anecdotes and comic sketches describing a Russian street life. He gained a good reputation. In 1882, he was writing one of the main literary magazines at that time, which is Asalke, or Fragments. In 1884, Chekhov got graduated as a doctor But between 1884 and 1886, he realized he had tuberculosis. But he did not tell his family because they were counting on him to support them. So when Anton moved to Moscow in 1879, he got entered a university which is studying about medicine. But while studying about medicine, he needed to had another work to fulfill his studies, which is to solve funny anecdotes and comic sketches. By that solving or by selling anecdotes and comic sketches, he got money to pay for his study and to give support to his family. And by creating anecdotes and comic sketches, he gained a good reputation that lead to write one of the main literary magazine at that time, which is Osolke. And later on, in 1884, he got graduated as a doctor. But between 1884 and 1886, he got diagnosed as to have tuberculosis. But he afraid to tell his family because mostly his family depend on him when it comes to financial. Because he already graduated as a doctor, so they believe that Anton already can fulfill when it comes to her family financial. For the next slide, Anton Chekhov wrote his short play, The Proposal, to entertain an audience. This play, which is considered to be a farce, contained a humorous situation to keep the audience interested and amused. But before The Proposal, he began his writing in 1888 by the author of anecdotes. And also in 1888, he became widely popular when it comes to publish he published one of his literary pieces, which is Lobro. And later on, he got published a short play, which is The Proposal. So Anton created a proposal it was based into a short story that speak about the tumulus, or when you say tumulus, it is a loud or full of confusion kinds of short story. And also the proposal, it is speak regarding between a wealth family. In this short story, it is exposed the fakeness of the word, how people connect with the wealth and the money.
So now, let's analyze the drama entitled A Marriage Proposal by Anton Chekhov. So now, we will proceed to the next one, which is the characters, or who are the main characters in the drama entitled The Marriage Proposal. So first, it is all about Ivan Lomov, which is a heavy-set man in his mid-30s. So he is prone to anxiety, stubbornness, and hypochondria. So second is si Stepanovich Chubukov, who owns land next to Ivan. So his chief concerns are maintaining his wealth and keeping his daughter happy. So for the third one, the next one is all about Natalia Stefanovna, which is the female lead in this three-person play. So she can be as jovial and welcoming, yet stubborn, proud, and possessive. So when we say jovial, it means cheerful and friendly. So next is for the genre. So when we say genre, it is talks about what is the main focus of this drama or play. So it is one act play and comedy written by the Russian story writer and dramatist Chekhov in 1888 to 1889. So the play is about the tendency of rich families to hunt ties with other wealthy families. So to extend their estates by encouraging marriages that observe economic sense. So this play is considered as a delightful comedy, bordering on a farce. When we say farce, it is something that is supposed to be serious but has turned to be ridiculous. So the plot revolves around a young landowner who proposes to the daughter of his neighbor. So all the characters are willing to arrange the marriage, but the proposals remains unmade. So later on, we will analyze or we will know what will be happen in this play. So now we will proceed with the setting in this play or drama. So when we say setting, it is a place wherein it takes place or where the story happens or the play happens. So the setting in this drama is in the living room of Chubukov's mansion in Russia. Since Lunov is offering a marriage to the daughter of Chubukovs, which is Natalia. So now we will going to proceed with a summary of the play or drama entitled A Marriage Proposal. So the play is set in the rural countryside of Russia during the late 1800s. So when Ivan arrives at the home of the Chubukov family, the elderly Stepan assumes that the well-dressed young man has come to borrow money. So instead, Stepan is pleased when Ivan asks for his daughter's hand in marriage. So Stepan wholeheartedly bestows his blessing. So he declaring that he already loves him like a son. So the old man then leaves to fetch his daughter, assuring the younger man that Natalia will graciously accept the proposal. So while alone, Ivan, explaining his high level of nervousness as well as a number of physical ailments that have recently plagued in his daily life. So this monologue sets up everything that unfolds next. So everything is going well when Natalia first enters the room. So they chat pleasantly about the weather and agriculture. So Ivan attempts to bring up the subject of marriage by first stating how he was known her family since then or since childhood. So when he touches upon his past, he mentions his family's ownership of the oxen meadows. So Natalia stops the conversation to clarify things. So she believes that her family has always owned the meadows, and this agreement ignites a caustic debate. So one that sends tempers flaring and Ivan's hearts continue to palpitate. So after they yell at each other, Ivan feels dizzy and tries to calm himself down and change the subject back to matrimony. So only to get immersed in the argument again. So Natalia's father joins the battle, so siding with his daughter and angrily demanding that Ivan leave at once. So as soon as Ivan is gone, Stepan reveals that the young man has planned to propose to Natalia. So shocked and apparently desperate to be married, Natalia insists that her father bring him back. So once Ivan has returned, she tries to bend the subject toward romance. So, however, instead of discussing the marriage, they begin to argue over which of their dogs is the better hunt. So, this seemingly in topic launches into yet another heated argument. So, finally, Ivan's heart cannot take it anymore and he plops down dead. So at least that's what Stepan and Natalia believe for a moment. So unfortunately, Ivan breaks out his fainting spell and regains his senses enough for him to propose to Natalia. So she accepts, but before the curtain falls, they return to the old argument regarding who owns the better dog. So the play ended with this argument that who owns the better dog. So it's like a funny and interesting one, but it's really enjoying. So now let's proceed with the next slide, which is all about the theme. So the theme of the marriage proposal by Anton Chekhov is the play is based on the theme of human greed and vanity in the way in which it blinds human beings to their best interests. So when we say vanity, it means excessive pride or admiration of one's own appearance or achievement. So It is considered as a greedy one since they look on the material things they have, and vanity since most of the characters are having a high pride that destroys their relationships. So for us to understand the whole story or play or drama entitled A Marriage Proposal, we will going to present a video wherein you will going to watch the summary of the marriage proposal. So happy watching.
Let's see what happens in The Proposal by Anton Chekhov. One day Stepan Chubukov got a visit from Ivan Vasilovich Lomov. Ivan Lomov was dressed in his finery, a dress jacket and white gloves. The two neighbors greet each other affectionately. Lomov then takes Chubukov's arm and hesitantly starts talking. Chubukov thinks Lomov is here to ask for money. Lomov is in a state of excitement. Stammering, he asks Chubukov for his daughter Natalia's hand. Chubukov is ecstatic. He accepts the proposal and runs out to send Natalia to meet Lomov. He is confident that his daughter will accept the proposal too. After Chubukov leaves, Lomov thinks to himself. He feels that he needs to decide and not think too much, otherwise he will never get married. Natalia, he feels, has all the qualities of a good wife. She is an excellent housekeeper, not bad looking, and well educated. Besides, he is 35 and has a weak heart. He ought to settle down and lead a quiet life. At this point, Natalia enters. She makes Ivan comfortable and asks after him. Ivan hesitatingly and nervously begins to say why he is there. Instead of getting straight to the point, he starts talking about their childhood and the warm relationship between their families. He also points out that they are neighbors too. His oxen meadows touch their birchwood trees. Natalia interrupts him here. She asserts that oxen meadows belongs to the Chubukovs and not the Lomovs. Ivan disagrees strongly and thus begins a long argument between Natalia and Ivan about the ownership of oxen meadows. Ivan believes that his grandmother had allowed some peasants of Natalia's great-grandfather to settle on the land in exchange for laying bricks for her. Natalia, on the other hand, tells him that oxen meadows had always been part of their estate. The argument gets louder and louder, and Natalia threatens to send her mowers to oxen meadows on the same day. Lomov feels agitated. He clutches at his heart, but he does not back down. Natalia's father, hearing the commotion, enters the room. Natalia asks her father to settle the matter. Chubukov, of course, agrees with his daughter. And thus starts a new round of argument between the two Chubukovs and Lomov. Lomov threatens to take them to court. Chubukov, in anger, abuses his family. Lomov feels his arm going numb. Angry and agitated, Lomov stumbles out the door. Chubukov, calling him a villain, tells Natalia that he cannot believe that this scarecrow had the nerve to propose to Natalia. Natalia is horrified when she realizes what she had done. She cries out hysterically and tells her father to call him back. Chubukov is alarmed to see his daughter's state. He leaves and sends Lomov back. Natalia greets Lomov affectionately and tells him that Oxen Meadows is his. Lomov is happy to hear that. Lomov then tells her that his dog has gone lame. He laments the fact that he paid 125 rubles for him. Natalia feels that the amount was too high. She believes that the dog her father bought for merely 85 rubles is better than Lomov's. Lomov disagrees and another long argument starts. Chubukov returns as the heated argument is in progress. Natalia again asks her father for his opinion. Her father, of course, agrees with her again. By now, Lomov feels that his foot is going to sleep. His heart does not feel well either. Chubukov and Natalia continue arguing with Lomov. They even begin to tease him. Lomov, unable to bear it anymore, collapses. Natalia screams. She believes Lomov is dead. Chubukov looks around wildly. shouting for a doctor. In panic, he seizes a glass and brings it to Lomov's mouth. To their surprise, Lomov starts moving. He's not sure where he is. Chubukov quickly tells him that Natalia is willing to marry him. He tells his daughter to kiss him in agreement. Lomov is now fully awake. He is happy that Natalia has agreed to marry him. Natalia is also happy, but she is unwilling to lose the argument. She reiterates that her dog Squeezer is better than Lomov's guess. Lomov too refuses to give in and insists that Squeezer was worse. As for Chubukov, he wanted to avoid another argument. He quickly shouts for champagne.
So now we will analyze what is the central message of the play entitled The Marriage Proposal. So the play, The Marriage Proposal, explains how anger and arguments can easily ruin a relationship. Thus, to maintain a good relationship, it is important to have control over your anger. So, having arguments over silly or small issues is extremely harmful and a waste of time. So, if someone commits a mistake, one should be ready to forgive and forget rather than being angry and arguing with a person endlessly. So, since in today's time, people try to find only the positives in others and do not easily accept their negative sides. So, it is extremely difficult to maintain a good and cordial relationship with others. So, we must learn how to accept mistakes or commit mistakes and help each other or understand each other in order to have a good relationship.
So the message of the proposal is all about the desire for the marriage relationship between among the privileged person of privileged family. The real goal is to expand their estate or their land holdings, and this kind of drama is to expose how wealthy family attempt to unite through a marriage in order to expand their property or their money. And sadly, this kind of traditional or this kind of culture are still happening upon this year, such as arranged marriage. And this kind of arranged marriage is still happening when it comes to mga Chinese and some wealthy families.
So that's the end of our lesson for today. I hope you learned something from it. Thank you and God bless everyone.